Oh god, that looks so bad. It looks so bad. The Banished former hero lives as he pleases, a series in the spring 2024 anime season being done by Studio Dean, which is doing 3 total shows this season. I hope Monster doesn't look this bad because woof. Wonky character designs, bad proportions, all that kind of stuff, horrible animation. At least the dragon isn't CGI. I'll give credit where credit's due. Maybe they couldn't afford a CGI dragon, so they decided to horribly draw it in action. But hey, again, credit where credit's due. But yes, the Banished former hero lives as he pleases a series in the spring season. I checked out the first 2 episodes so that you don't have to. Because let's be honest, if the show actually has a good story or chemistry or characters, who cares how it looks? But let's jump into it. The Banished former hero lives as he pleases opens up with the hero of the world, and he's got great power, and he's able to defeat all the foes, but unfortunately, with his dying breath, he wishes that his next life, he'll be able to live in peace, because his entire life he lived as a hero, he had so much power that everybody feared him, and thus he wasn't able to have a peaceful, fun life with other people. So it seems like that's granted as he has a new life, and in that new life, it seems like things are going well, even though he's living under a duke who's kind of a jerk. And as we find out later, seems to be the mastermind behind everything evil. But yes, Alan, as he grows older, he has no skill, no leveling up, nothing. And so his father's like, you're going to look bad upon our family, so we're banishing you. And so Alan's fine with this. He's like, yes, now I can live my peaceful life. I'm just going to go out and travel, be alone, and enjoy my life. Well, unfortunate for him, he's the main character of an OP main character fantasy series where everything falls in front of him. Immediately, he ends up spotting the princess of the kingdom, who for some reason is out in the middle of nowhere with only one knight who can't defeat a golem dog. So Alan's like, crap, really didn't want to do this, but this girl, the princess, was actually his former betrothed, and she was like really nice to him. She's like the only one that would speak up against all the people that were bickering about him. So he decides to unlock his OP godlike hero abilities, rush out there and save her life, then use some OP godlike abilities to save the life of Beatrice, and then use his OP godlike abilities to heal the wagon, and then they go on traveling together. Well, eventually, they kind of find out that Reese, this princess, she actually received this message from the divine that she needs to go to this one place because there's like something there that she needs to guide. And so, kind of find out, that's Akira, who is actually the hero of this generation. Every generations, the gods will bestow upon one person the ability of braver. And this gives them like the power of like thousands of soldiers. And they are deemed at that point the hero. Well, she's there to save this little girl that came to her for help because she was going to be sacrificed to a dragon. And so Akira, with them, go up there, kill the dragon, save the people, and then Alan and them part ways. Well, things don't end there because Alan had to use his sword to destroy the dragon, and his power is so OP that his sword broke. So Reese is like, hey, I know this blacksmith. She can probably make you a weapon. Well, so happens this blacksmith is an elf was supposed to get killed by this assassin group that's trying to kill the princess and the hero who sent the dragon and sent the golem dogs. It seems like every single 2 seconds, he's running into something that this assassination plot is going after. Which, yes, is all being run by his father, who's also being run by some top hat guy. Well, this elf decides to create him a weapon that's supposedly stronger than a divine sword, and they're going out to test it out, and they run into a Fenrir. It looks like a Fenrir. It's like a wolf dog thingy-majiggy. And that is the Banished former hero, something lives pleases, something like that, in a nutshell. My thoughts on this series so far. As you can tell by my joking around, I'm not enjoying this show so much. And that's mainly because twofold. On one hand, it is another reincarnated into another life, but having all of his OP abilities while flexing it in front of cute girls, and all these cute girls kind of fall in front of him and he saves them, and then they're all happy. Which is fine. I've watched a lot of shows that are just kind of throwaway OP main character reincarnated and swoons over his harem. That's fine. The problem is this show, unfortunately, doesn't have anything on top of that to sort of make it feel unique, or at least throw something else in there. Visuals, something that I can kind of chew on. Visually, like I mentioned earlier, this show doesn't look good. It's got very wonky character designs. They can't stay on model. Their proportions are always off. Either they have like long necks or short necks, or their shoulders are huge, or their faces look wonky. The animation and the combat sequences, typically I can kind of excuse. yes, also doesn't look good, but overall, visually, it doesn't look pleasing. And when the show is about, OP main character saving waifus, the waifus have got to look good, and they're not looking good. But typically with shows like this that are very typical, it needs something else. One thing it can have: good chemistry. This show doesn't have good chemistry. The character interactions are just very blah. It's just there's no fun to it. There's no comedy to it. There's no kind of back and forth. There's no headbutting or anything like that. The characters just talk very plain to each other just to get to the next scene. Reese and Beatrice don't feel like they're friends or feel like they have some sort of camaraderie. Alan and Reese don't seem to have any sort of flirtatiousness to them. No chemistry, no fun to it. About the only shred of chemistry I got was between Reese and Noel, because they're friends and they seem to have some sort of chemistry between each other. The only reason I think this is the case is because I feel like this might be burning through the source material quickly, because it's getting to the plot points so fast that it doesn't have time for the characters to meet in between. So it feels like it's just hitting the plot points, but not seeing the moments where the characters kind of interact between the plot points. But still, it's not adding anything else to it. Not, I don't know, make the characters look good, so at least it's something pleasing to look at. Let there be some comedy in there. Let there be some romance in there. Let there be something besides plot point, character, OP. And that really makes sense now that I think about it, because it really does feel like Alan, his whole plot point is that he lived this previous life. He wanted to live a new peaceful life. He didn't want anybody to know that he's powerful. But then things keep being thrown in front of him, and it almost feels like it's too convenient, because it's just literally every 2 seconds, the next big plot of this assassination attempt is right in front of him. It could be bad writing, or it could just feel that way because it's skipping everything between. It seems to be relying too heavily on the plot point that despite the fact that he doesn't want to have attention, despite the fact that he doesn't want to make people fear him again, he is still going to use his abilities to wipe everything out. But seemingly this time in this life, everybody around him seems to appreciate his power this time. Whereas it seems like in his previous life, he didn't have a school of waifus that all accept him for what he is. So what comes from this beyond this? I don't know. Maybe he actually does scare some people and Reese has to stand up for him. I don't know. But so far, it doesn't really have much going for it besides the Norm reincarnated story. There's no interesting world mechanics, the spell mechanics, nothing really has much explanation to it besides everybody gets abilities bestowed upon them at some point, and there's a level system, and he has his former life power, so nobody knows that he's OP. There's not much besides that going on for it, and again, that might just be because they're glossing over it for the most part. But anyhow, that's my thoughts on Banished former hero lives as he pleases. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it saved some of you guys some time, or maybe it enticed some of you to actually check it out. I'm not against people enjoying the show. But unfortunately for a series like this, in a season full of 60 anime titles, it's dead in the water, unfortunately for me. I will give it a couple more episodes, see if it goes anywhere, but for now, that's my thoughts on the Banished former hero. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it saved you, I don't know, 48 minutes of your life. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button down below, comment, let me know what you think of the series if you're going to be checking it out. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. I'll be doing first impressions of all the shows of the season, so if you want to save yourself some time, get my thoughts on it, definitely stick around. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips, links, so thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does, and y'all take care.